Hello, I'm Mark Richmond from Chef Knives to Go, and I want to talk to you about strops today. We have a variety of strops, and sometimes it confuses people, and I just want to talk for a minute about a couple items on the site. We make a variety because people like to mix and match substrates like this with compounds, and sometimes people will use different combinations. It's fun to try, and more or less most of them work relatively similarly, so you don't have to get hung up with doing it perfect or getting the exact right combination. Some things work better with others, and here are a couple items that work well together. This is a regular leather strop, and we adhere it to a magnet pad. This is our Richmond strop base. It's just a piece of metal that's powder coated. We put some feet on it, and these two go together like this. And leather works really well with compound. And what I have here is a new item. This is stropping paste. It's made out of, it has diamond for the abrasive in here, and it's very fine. We have two flavors. We have 1 micron and we have half micron. So this is, this is super fine, and this is even finer. And these pastes work really well with the leather. Works well with the horse butt that we sell, which is just horse leather, and also works really well with the balsa that we sell. Doesn't work quite as well with the felt, because as you'll see in a second, this stuff comes out thick and it's hard to spread it. So sprays work with the felt a little bit better than this stuff. But anyways, it's pretty straightforward. When you apply this, there's a little nub on here, and little cap, and once you take the cap off, you just apply some of the paste. As you can see, I'm not using very much at all. And then you can spread it onto the substrate, in this case the leather. I use a putty knife, but you could use a piece of cardboard. Just toss it out when you're done. Or you can even use your finger if you want, but I like this because you can get a nice thin coating. And then you just spread it on. And once you get it covered, and you don't have to be super anal about this, get a nice thin layer on there. I'd probably do a little bit more just to cover the spots I missed here. Then just let it dry for a few minutes, and you're good to go. This will last a long time. It'll last dozens and dozens of stropping attempts, and it just keeps cutting. So don't put a lot on there, and don't keep reapplying it every time. It just gets caked on and doesn't work that well. It works better when there's a very thin coat and it's kind of embedded into the leather. And then to strop, you just draw this back. And like I said, it's better to let this dry completely, but for our purpose, it doesn't matter that much. You'll find that as you do this, the strop will become a little dark, and that darkness is usually the metal being abraded by the fine diamonds. And you don't have to do this very much, and you don't have to apply hardly any pressure at all. Very light pressure. Just kind of sweep that edge over the top of the leather. And that's all it takes to strop your knife with the leather and the diamond paste. One last thing, this is probably pretty self-evident. The leather comes in these little bags, and I recommend once you load this with diamond paste, just leave it in the bag between use, because this can get, you don't want to get dirt or any particles on here. It'll, get in the way of you stropping. So just leave it in the bag when you're done, and whip it out anytime you need it. That's it. I'm Mark Richmond. Stay sharp.